everybody, Rose here. Ta-da! This is what we're going to do today. And I have a couple of different options for you. I only made one with the mouth. So let's get right into it. What we're going to need today is your tapestry, a pair of scissors. If you want these are the 7mm safety eyes. Some scrap black yarn. Going to do the eye 5.5mm. And for the colors of yarn, this is Red Heart Super Saver, and I believe it's Sage. Wanted just a little bit different shade. And this one is by, it's Red Heart Super Saver in Aaron. And for his beard, this is I Love This Yarn in Burnt Pumpkin. Okay, it's either burnt pumpkin or burnt carrot. All right, so go get your supplies together, and I will show you how to make this leprechaun, and we're going to turn it into a garland. We're going to start with a magic circle. Okay, and in this magic circle, we're going to put 8 half double crochets. And the way we do a half double crochet is we're going to yarn over, we're going to go into our circle, we're going to go through the loop, and we're going to grab our yarn and pull it up, and then we're going to yarn over and go through all 3. Now if you need to, you can go ahead and get a stitch marker and mark that so you know where you're going to be joining. All right, so that's 1. Let's do 7 more. So we're going to yarn over, go through our circle, grab our yarn, and come back up. I'm going to yarn over, and then go through all 3. There's 2. All right, so let's do another one together. We're going to yarn over, go in our circle, grab our yarn, and come through and pull it up. We're going to yarn over and go through all 3 loops. Okay, so that's 3. Let's do 5 more, and I will meet you at the end. All right, I am back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we are going to go under that first half double crochet, and we're going to slip stitch. So grab your yarn and pull it through, and then we're going to pull it through. All right, we're joined. I'm just going to pull my tail, get that tight. All right, so that was round 1. Round 2 is we're going to chain 1, and right where we joined, seems hard to see on the camera, so I don't know if you can see it real well, but it's right where you joined. We're going to do 2 half double crochets in each stitch. So we had 8. At the end of the second round, we're going to have 16. So go ahead and yarn over, and if you need to, just pull it apart, and if you tug on this, it'll pull right where it's at. And I'm going to go into that first joining stitch, and again with the half double crochet, yarn over and go through all 3. And I'm going to go right back in there with another half double crochet, pull it up with our 3 loops, yarn over and go through all 3. Oh, that's weird, look at that. Okay, All right, so in this pattern, the chain 1 and the slip stitch don't mean anything. We're just going to be ignoring them. So go ahead and mark your first stitch if you need to. So that's 2. We're going to go right next door to the next stitch, and I can tell because there's 2 lines going up. And then I'm going to follow those 2 lines and I'm going to go to the top of it. I'm going to put 2 more half double crochets right in there. There's 1, yarn over, pull it up, and that's 2. So go ahead and do an increase, which is 2 half double crochets in each stitch around for a total count of 16 half double crochets. And I'll meet you at the end and we'll join up together. And this is what it looks like. It looks like there's another stitch there, but that's actually the slip stitch. And then that little baby stitch right there is the chain 1. It's very, very confusing. But I've counted and I have 16. So again, I'm going to ignore the slip stitch. I'm going to ignore that chain 1. I'm going to find my top of my first half double crochet, and I'm going to join with a slip stitch. I'm going to go under both loops. I'm going to grab my yarn. I'm going to pull it through, and then I'm going to pull it through. There's round 2. All right, round 3, we're going to be changing it just a little bit. Let's go ahead and chain 1. And again, in that joining stitch, we're going to put 2 half double crochets. So go ahead and yarn over and go in there, pull it up, make sure you have your 3 loops. And you should have 3 loops because we yarned over in the beginning. If you just go in there and grab your yarn and pull up, you're only going to have 2. So go ahead and yarn over, go back in your stitch, that same joining stitch, got our 3 loops, yarn over and go through all 3. All right, that's 2. So in the next, we're going to do this for the next 9 stitches. We're going to put an increase. Okay, so that was 1. And this is how I'm going to count it. So 9 times 2 is 18. And so if I'm doing 2 stitches in each one, I'm going to get to my 9. So that is 1 and 2. And our next stitch, I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to go in there. And this is going to be 3 and 4. I always do the and for my mind so that I know that I'm putting another stitch in there. I'm not moving on until I finish that. So that is 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Next one will be 5 and 6. There's 5 and 6. Next stitch, 7 and 8. And I'm going to keep on until I finish to 18. I've got 18. Let's do another one together. This will be 19 and 20. 19 and 20. And then we're going to do one more. 21 and 22. So when you look at it, we've covered 11 stitches. And what I'm looking for here is I want to have 5 stitches left. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ignoring the slip stitch. All right. So now we're going to go into that next stitch with a slip stitch. So don't yarn over. We're just going to go straight in there. Now grab our yarn and pull it up and then pull it through. And then chain 1. Now you can fasten off. I'm just going to do my finger length. And that is what we'll have right now. Okay, now let's go get our green or whatever hat color you want. and we're going to join this on there. And the way I do it is I'm just going to get my yarn hand that carries my yarn, and I'm going to get it set up in my hand like I'm working. And then I'm going to pick up our little face, and I'm going to lay the tail to the back, and then I'm going to hold my project. Okay. Go ahead and hold that tail back there too. So I got my green and my white back there. And then I'm just going to go right where I joined. We slip stitched right into this stitch. And I'm going to go straight in there. And then I'm going to grab my green yarn and I'm going to pull it up. I have one loop, and then I'm going to yarn over, and then I'm going to pull it through. That's just joining your yarn. And now I'm just going to pull that green down. Makes it nice and snug. Now let's chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And let's zoom in here. In the second chain, we did our 1, 2, 3. The second chain, I'm going to pull up that top loop and I'm going to put a single crochet in there. Into that next chain loop, I'm going to put another single crochet. So now right where we joined, we're going to put 2 half double crochets in there. So I'm going to hold this loop so that I can control this a little bit. Just going to yarn back over and go straight in there. And I'm going to put my tails, my hook is underneath those tails. And I'm just going to hold that down a little bit. And then I'm going to grab my yarn and pull it up. Back to my 3 loops. And then I'm going to yarn over and go through all 3. Okay, now let's go right back in there and do another half double crochet. Okay, now we have 4 stitches left, and you got to pull it apart a little bit because sometimes that next one wants to hide, but we should have the 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go ahead and put 2 half double crochets in each of those. And again, I'm going to take my tails. You don't have to do this, you can sew them in later, but I'm going to lay them right to the back. So when my hook comes through, my hook is underneath them. And sorry about my nails. I've had a rough work week. Okay, and then we're going to just do our half double crochets. We're going to do 2 into the next 4. Okay, and each time I'll just adjust my little tails. Next one. 2 half double crochets. And then we're back to our slip stitch and chain 1, and I'm going to pull it apart a little bit. And I can see that those 2 lines goes to that. And then these 2 lines, that's my first half double crochet. And that's where I'm going to join with the slip stitch. Push through there, grab my yarn, pull it up, and then join. And then let's chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to turn over. We're in the back now. So that second chain and that first chain, we're going to put 1 single crochet in each of those. There's 1. And it is turned. I'm just kind of bending it back so I can get the front of that loop. But if you even grab the back of it, no matter. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do it just to show you. It's fine. Okay. Now, this is the actual slip stitch. This next, look at it, there's another, you can see the little V there. We're going to slip stitch back into there and slip stitch into the next two. So we're going to slip stitch 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going to poke through there, pull up, and then go through. And then I'm going to go to the next stitch. This will be my second slip stitch. And then I'm going to go one more time, slip stitch. That's where we are. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this real quick. Okay, now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to put 1 half double crochet right into that 3rd slip stitch. So yarn over and go in there. That's 1. Now in the next 6 stitches, we're going to put 1 half double crochet for a total of 7 half double crochets across. So go ahead and yarn over. This will be 2. Next one will be 3. Next one, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Chain 1 and turn. Whoops. That's what we look like right now. And now we're going to put 7 half double crochets again. So yarn over. This is that chain 1. This is the chain 1. This is the actual stitch. Yarn over and pull up. There's 1. We're going to go on down for a total of 7. Now that 7th one, like a lot of them, like to turn. So we're just going to bring it back to us. Get under both loops. And finish that 7th one. Chain 1. Now we're on our back side, and we're going to put 1 single crochet all the way across. So there's 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Begin with that 7th in the back.
And chain 1. And that's what we got. Now, can you see a difference in the top of this? This has a little braid look right in the front. And this one doesn't. Okay, I'm going to do this braid thing, but I want to show you that if you didn't do it, it looks just fine without it. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to slip stitch in each of these 7 stitches. So I'm going to go right back into that first one, and I'm going to slip stitch. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to slip stitch all the way across. Six, and then number 7. Now I'm going to chain 1 and just do my finger length, snip that off. I just like that little baby extra detail. And this is what it looks like right now. Cool, huh? That's a big hat. All right, now we're going to add the beard. I was just thinking what it would be kind of cool to do, you know, like an old man beard, a black beard, a blonde beard. I should do that just for fun, because again, I just put my yarn in my hand like I'm crocheting. Now, see this last stitch? And this is our next stitch. there, and we're going to be joining in this first stitch. And again, I'm going to lay my tail to the back and hold it. And then I'm going to grab my hook and go right into there. And I'm going to grab my beard color and pull it up with one loop. And I'm going to yarn over and pull it through. I'm joined. Pull that orange down. Now, in the very next stitch, we're going to put, what did I say? 3 double crochets into this next stitch. And the double crochet is, I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to go into there. I think I'll take my little tail with me. I'm going to pull it up again with the 3 loops, but we're going to yarn over and pull through only 2 of them. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 of them. That's 1 double crochet. You don't need your stitch marker. Yarn over, let's go do 2 more. Go through the back and pull your yarn up, 3 loops, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over again and go through 2. 1 more. There. 3, yarn over and yarn over. Okay, now I'm going to drop that tail. I'm going to skip the next stitch, and then I'm going to slip stitch. So now we're starting our repeat pattern. We're going to skip a stitch and let's slip stitch. So again, we're going to go through there. We're going to grab our yarn. You can pull it up and join. Into the very next stitch, we're going to put the 3 double crochets. So yarn over, go in there and pull it up. Yarn over, go through 2. Yarn over, go through 2. That's 1. Yarn over, go back into that same stitch. Put your 3 loops. Yarn over, go through 2. Yarn over, go through 2. And then we're going to put 1 more in there. And then we're going to skip a stitch and then slip stitch. Go through there, grab your yarn and pull it through. All right, let's do 1 more together. We're going to go in this very next stitch and we're going to put 3 double crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, skip, slip stitch. And we're going to do that all the way around, and then I'll meet you when we get to the end here. 1, back, 2, and 3, skip, and we're going to slip stitch into that next stitch, the very top. And then I'm going to chain 1, again with my traditional finger. Okay, now let's get our 7mm eyes. There you go. And here's the center. And I think I'm going to put mine, it's still going to be in this first circle. And see, I can see the hole here. I don't want to go in there. I kind of want to grab, like maybe go in between. So I'm like grabbing some yarn so it doesn't just slide through. I think I'm just going to go ahead and post that. And let's see. I think I'm going to go and see if I can squeeze it through. Still within that first circle. Yeah. Love it. I originally started this design, or started this I tried to follow a couple patterns to see or whatever. This is what it was turning out. And I'm like, oh, heck no. No. That looks so bad. And so I just started from scratch. I changed the stitch count. I changed everything because I just didn't like it. And I like this so much better. I just realized I used the wrong yarn on that. It's fine. All right. So there we go. Now, once you get your as many as you need, I'm going to show you how to join these onto like a garland. I wanted them to be spaced out so they're not just like right on each other. I wanted some like distance. And when I get these done, I'll hang them up and you guys can see it. So first I'm going to start with a slip knot. And just leave whatever tail. And I want some distance. So I think I'm going to start with a chain 9, 10. And then we're just going to drop it. And then I'm going to take my little face. You can even embroider a mouth if you want, but I kind of liked it just plain Jane. And I'm just going to pick up what looks like the middle stitch. Now, if you did the slip stitch, you'll know that there's that braid. And then when you turn it, the original stitch is before we did the slip stitch. And I think that's what I'm going to go into. And you can count over 4 stitches. I'm going to just eyeball it. Looks good. And so with my chain, I'm going to go into my stitch, pick up my yarn, and it's coming over in the front. It's fine. And however I need to grab it, and then I'm going to pull it through. And then I'm going to chain 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So this one will be the first one. And let's see, let me go ahead and take some of these out. Take your next piece. I'm going to lay it to the back. I'm going to eyeball where I want to join, and I'm joining it with a slip stitch. Pick up my yarn, grab my yarn, and I'm just pulling it through. Then I'm going to chain 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so there's that one. And we'll just pretend like these are done. And then again, I'm going to put it to the back. Grab my yarn. I'm going to hold that down. Grab my yarn, and I'm going to just pull it through. So, just get those. So then I have like, they're all like evenly spaced out. It's just joining it with a slip stitch. So I hope you enjoyed our Leprechaun garland, and I hope you like this new design. And until I see you, I will let you go, and I hope you guys have a great week. I have another St. Patrick's thing I'm going to get ready to film, and I'm also about to start filming the very first beginner series. I'm going to be doing all those things this month. And I thank you guys so much, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye. I'm going to add this in. I want to show you how to do these little knot. They're called French knots. And there's just these raised little knots. I've got just some black yarn, and it's about 14-15 inches. And what you're going to need, you're just going to need your tapestry needle. And what we're going to do is we're going to string it up first. Just leave a little tail. And I'm going to come from the back, and I'm going to try to go through, like split the yarn, and I'm coming through one strand. It's just going to give me a little bit more grip. And I'm going to pull it up, and I'll just leave a tail long enough to tie a knot. Set it down, and I'm going to lightly hold it, and I'm going to put my needle down, and I'm going to wrap it loosely twice, and then I'm going to pick a strand or an opening right next door, just so that I'm not going back into the same spot I came through. So I'm just going to poke it through there. Just going to let it do what it's going to do. And I'm not going to pull too tight. And that makes this little knot. Now, flip you over. This is a little extra. You don't have to go under any of these strands. I'm just trying to get to the next spot. Lightly pull that. And then I'm going to figure out where I want to go. And I think I'm just going to, as long as you're not going back exactly where you came through, that's how it's catching. That's how it's creating it. So put that down. And actually I'm going to flip it upside down because I'm going to go to the outside. Loosely wrap twice. And I'm going to pick up, I'm going to just go right there. And I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to poke my needle through. And then I'm going to slowly pull it. And then all we're doing back here is I'm just going to skip a strand, and I'm going to work my way back over. You can even just go over, and I'm going to go ahead and tie a square knot between these two. I'm not going to pull too tight because I still have that one. I don't want to pull it through. Tie one more knot. Just want to get under a couple of those, and then just pull it through, and then snip it off. Since this is not going to be facing anyway, I'm okay with that. But that's one reason why, if this is going to be showing, I don't do this version. But not everybody has the safety eyes, and this is a great alternative. It's a great alternative. It's not perfect, but it does give you that dimension. And you know what? While we're here, let's go ahead and get another foot of black yarn, and let's go ahead and make him a little mouth. And it's going to be the same kind of concept. I'm just going to go through here, see what happens. Now I've got his eyes right outside the middle, so his mouth, I think I'll just make that one just a straight. Just going to leave a little tail. And let's say I wanted to make a smile. I'm going to go ahead and come up across. I'm going to tack it down. I'm just going to go in the middle, and I'm going to go on top of it. going to go right back underneath it. That way I have a smile and it's not just a strand loosey-goosey. I'm not the best at embroidery, which is probably why I don't do it very much. And how about I just go back up under here to get to the beginning. Tie a square knot. And then you can weave that right back through. Or we can use that fabric fusion or fray. This is another thing you can do. This is just stop fraying. And I bought this at Hobby Lobby. And I can just put a dab on it. And it does work. It does work. But look at the back. Lord. But there's our little face. Okay, so I wanted to add that in real quick in case you want to add that. I like the mystery of what's he thinking. Alrighty, guys, I will get this uploaded to you and I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.